When it comes to outdoor photography, the weather is really important, to state the obvious. So before choosing a location, I will often spend a bit of time considering how well that location is going to work in different weather conditions. For example, today we've got pretty much completely clear blue skies. Not unusual here in Spain, but that's what we've got. Not ideal conditions in many cases, but certain locations and certain subjects may well work well on a blue sky day, and that's what I've picked. Let's see what we can do. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I have come out to what is basically a church, the Ermita del Virgen del Carmen, just outside Algorfa. It's not far from home, and I've picked this location because of the weather conditions. The weather conditions basically are completely clear blue skies, and that's expected to be the case right the way up until night time. It's about an hour and 35 minutes before sunset right now, and I've picked this location because it offers a variety of different possibilities to shoot things that I think will work well on a blue sky day. The church itself, there's some kind of wooded picnic areas around which might prove interesting, and there's also some really nice views from here looking out across towards Sierra Oyuela. So all of those things potentially mean I've got lots of different possibilities to shoot without relying on having a really nice sky, because we're not going to get one. I was hoping to get a decent view of the church, but it does look like it's all locked up. I wasn't particularly thinking about going inside the church, but I was hoping I could get a decent view of it, but it looks like there's all gates and fences all around and it's all locked up. So that may not be happening. No, and this one's locked as well. I have to go around the other side and see if there's a view through the railings or something that might work. If I can work out how to get around there. Okay, another locked gate, but I could do a shot through the gate. There's kind of a pathway that goes up at an angle towards the church, and then the church itself has got quite an impressive facade to it, so we'll give that a go. I've got the 12 to 100 on, and I'm shooting towards the sun, but the sun is hidden by the church itself, so shouldn't be too much of a problem for flare. Squirrel. There's a squirrel in there. Oh, I think I just managed to get it on a tree. Right, sorry, back to the church. seeing that squirrel there, I've decided while I'm having a walk around, I'll just pop the 100 to 400 on and just have a walk around some of the wooded areas here just to see if there's any more either squirrels or other wildlife that's worth trying to grab some shots of. Maybe for another half an hour or so, and then we'll go and see what's happening maybe elsewhere, see if there's an interesting landscape type scene to shoot. Okay, I haven't seen anything else in the wildlife apart from the odd pigeon, so I think I'm going to swap back over to like the 12 to 100 and see what else I can do. So one of the things I often look for on a blue sky day is a location that will give me subjects that stand up tall, that fill the sky, because otherwise you end up with a lot of blue sky in images. Yeah, you can compose with a minimal amount of sky, and that occasionally works, but it's much better if you can kind of fill the sky, because then it doesn't matter so much. And that's why I thought trees, the church is proving to be more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. And the trees, there's not as much here in the way of trees as I thought there was going to be. There's some quite nicely shaped ones kind of over here. The background isn't great because the background is basically a road that way, and this way I'd be shooting into the sun. But I'm going to have a wander around here, just sort of hold the camera up and see if anything grabs me. Okay, the trees around this bit aren't inspiring me at all, unfortunately. And there was one near where I parked the car that looked quite interesting, so I'm going to have a look at that. It's quite a nice tree here, but it's difficult to get a decent angle on it. Might do better if I go over to the wide angle. Rather than 12mm, I can go down to 8. Okay, 8 to 25 lens on. Let's see if we can do something. I think ideally I'd like to shoot it this way, because then we've got the mountain in the background rather than the church and other stuff. But I want to make sure that the bottom leaves are above the horizon. I don't want any leaves coming down obscuring the horizon, or indeed the mountain. That means I've probably got to get down fairly low. Let's see what we can do. You know, I'm going to take this bag off because it's a lot easier to bend and stretch without it. Question is, do we want a vertical? I don't want that big corner of that building coming in. Found another angle on the church that might work because of the light that's on it, with the road coming up from the left. There's some signs in here, like warning of bicycles and things, which might make an additional feature in there or might not. Try moving in a little bit closer. Now, to be honest, this place is a very short drive away from where I live, and that's something else that I often consider when I've got what I would consider to be less than ideal conditions. Blue sky days, I tend not to want to do a long journey, you know, maybe a challenging location, because there's nothing worse than doing all of that and then coming back with next to nothing because the conditions aren't great. But I'm also a believer that there's always something worth shooting, and that's kind of what I'm employing today, just doing whatever shots I can. At the moment, I'm wondering if I could do something with that scene with the mountain with the 100 to 400 zoomed all the way in. It's worth a try, isn't it? Always worth a try. So with the 100 to 400 lens on, I can get right in on the details on the mountain. But I've still got to find a composition that's going to work. Take my hat off for a minute. My first thought is to exclude anything to do with the buildings at the bottom and just shoot some of the shapes and textures further up the mountain where the light's falling. And then it's just a case of kind of, you know, sweeping the scene, seeing what kind of details I can find. So there's another mountain in the background, there's like a tall part of it, and I can frame it with like the V shape of parts of the existing or the foreground ridge line. I don't know whether to go vertical or, no, I think horizontal. Now this one has got some sky in it, but not a lot. The light's starting to go off of that particular mountain now, that's the Sierra Orihuela. But there's another whole line of mountains across the back there, under here. So that's Sierra Orihuela I've been photographing, and this whole line here. And with this lens, I can pick out details on that, and that's catching some really nice light, really nice textures, either with or without the sky in there. Electricity pylons are one of those things that, as a general rule, I don't like, but sometimes when the light catches them just right, there's maybe something about them that's worth photographing if there's nothing better to do, and I'm not feeling that there is anything better to do at the moment. So I've got the 12 to 100 back on, probably about 60, 70 mil, just a vertical shot of the pylon. Normally with blue skies, I try to pick locations where there's going to be things that are going to fill the sky up, or where I can avoid shooting the sky at all. And I came here today because of the church, which I think worked, the trees, which I think didn't, and the views. Well, the mountain hopefully might have created at least one or maybe two kind of interesting, intimate kind of shots. The other thing that I don't normally do when we've got blue sky days is travel very far, and I haven't. And I also don't normally hang around once the sun's gone. Blue sky days, it's all about the light on the scene, rather than whatever the sky might do, because the sky is not going to do much of anything with the little tiny bit of cloud that's sitting down over there. So once the light goes off the scene, I pack up and go home. Well, that's it. The sun has now gone down. The light is off the scene. It's all going very flat. And hopefully I've got a few images and I've talked through my reasons why I choose my location based on what I think the weather is going to be, in particular what the sky is going to be. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, likes, shares, comments, always really appreciated. If you've enjoyed this video and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.